Hey everybody, welcome back to Screen Weens.
Yeah.
Special edition with me in Mexico and Thomas in
My house.
Porta Potty.
Oh, right.
Sitting in the Carnival Fair grounds.
You are? Or I am?
What?
What?
That's where you are.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna try this out. I might sound a little echoey. I'm in a very echoey room, but I should be able to remove it in post. If not, then just pretend that I'm in heaven looking down on all of you. So we watched 2 movies this week. We didn't go crazy and watch 2 movies and 2 miniseries like last time.
Yeah.
We watched Awakenings by Penny Marshall from 1990 and Thoroughbreds by Corey Finley, I think his name is,
Yep.
from 2017. Which I forgot. He has a new movie that just came out. It's been going around the circuits, the festival circuits.
Oh, yeah?
Bad Education with Hugh Jackman.
Huh. Oh, yeah.
I
think I added it to my watch list.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. Have you gotten a chance to watch any other movies this week? I saw that you watched, rewatching the prequels.
Yeah, I watched the entire prequel trilogy. Yeah. You know, I liked them. Like, I went into them expecting to hate them a lot more than I did. I actually came out, like, I thought they were enjoyable. The only thing that really, like, majorly bothers me about them is I'm not a big Anakin fan.
You're not a big Anakin fan?
Yeah, I just felt like they could have done the whole, like, Darth Vader backstory a little bit better. It was just too angsty teenager for me, you know?
I do think it's gets fleshed out pretty well in the Clone Wars series.
Yeah.
Which is between 2 and 3. Which, you know, a series shouldn't need to flesh out characters, but...
Yeah, but overall I enjoyed it.
What was your favorite out of it?
Oh, probably...
Was it the third one?
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I think there are some really good moments in episode 3.
Yeah, no.
I love all of them, because I'm a crazy person, but episode 3 has some, like, really, like, iconic moments, and I don't fault some people, like, that have that as their favorite still, especially, like, that are our age, because that's the first Star Wars movie I remember, like, seeing in theaters. The other 2 I might have, but I was too young to really remember.
Apparently, I've seen, with the exception of the original trilogy, I've seen all of them in theaters, because I saw the, my parents took me to go see Phantom Menace. I don't remember that one, but I remember seeing Clone Wars, and I remember seeing, for the midnight release of, Revenge of the Sith, and I fell asleep, like, halfway through it, but, we went and saw it again, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I've just caught the rest of them in theaters as they've been releasing them.
Yeah. Gotcha. Did you have a chance to watch anything else besides that?
Yeah, I rewatched Heathers, so.
Oh yeah, I watched that for the first time, probably 2 months ago with Julia.
Ah, nice.
What do you think of the movie?
Of Heathers? I think it's pretty good. I think it's like a good cult classic movie. Like a nice 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I gave it a 6. I enjoyed it. I think that Slater and Ryder are really good in it.
Yeah.
And fun.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Was there any particular reason you watched Heathers, or were you just...
I was kind of reminded...
Slater.
I was kind of reminded of it when watching Thoroughbreds, so kind of put me in the mood to rewatch it.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so did you just rewatch Heathers, like, just now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you told me, like, 5 hours ago or whatever. You're like, yeah, I'm in the middle of Thoroughbreds.
Yeah. They're both, like... I think Heather's a little longer than 90 minutes, but they're both pretty short movies.
Yeah. I was surprised with Thoroughbreds being so short.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I was just expecting it to be, like, kind of a longer, slower paced movie, but
Yeah, like,
everything kind of happened in quick succession.
I just, like, moved the toolbar, and suddenly I'm, like, halfway through it. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I moved it, and I'm like, I'm a third through it. I thought I just sat down.
Yeah.
I rewatched a couple movies. I've been showing like my dad's wife a couple movies that I really enjoyed. So like we watched The Raid,
Yeah.
which I showed you, and I think that was like my fourth or fifth watch. I still love that movie. And I was surprised they both really enjoyed it as well. We watched Green Room with Anton Yelchin.
Yeah.
And then I watched Thoroughbreds like right after that. And it was just like, Mr. Yelchin.
Yeah, it's...
I forgot. Have you seen Green Room yet?
No, I haven't. I need to.
I lent it to you and you never watched it.
That's true.
Yeah, I remember. And then we watched a horror movie called Veronica, which was directed by Paco Plaza, who he co-directed or he directed like all the Rec films.
Oh, okay.
The Record films. And he has a new movie that just came out this year that I want to see once it hits streaming platforms or digital markets. But when Veronica first came out, I really, really liked it. Like, I would say I even loved it. And rewatching it, I still enjoyed it, but not nearly as much. And I'm just like, I don't really even know why I loved it so much. But it has some good elements. The acting's pretty good, which is nice because a lot of it is reliant on younger actors. I think the main actress is supposed to be playing a 15-year-old, and then all the other characters are her little siblings that are 8.
Oh, okay.
But they're all pretty decent. And there's some interesting directing. The soundtrack, when it's not just Hollywood-esque drones, is really good.
Oh yeah, the Hollywood drones.
Yeah, my favorite. And then I also watched Tragedy in Temporary Town, which is a 1956 teleplay by Sidney Lumet and Reginald Rose, who would go on the next year to be 12 Angry Men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, I picked up the Criterion for that, which is going to arrive today, so we'll have to watch it soon.
Yeah.
12 Angry Men, that is.
Honestly, I think Tragedy in Temporary Town might be on that Criterion disc.
Oh, really?
Because it's kind of a bonus. It's a teleplay they made. It's 50 minutes long. And I really liked it. The story's really good. A lot of the acting's really good. But, oh, God, it is aged so poorly just in terms of video quality. Because the thing that's available on the Criterion channel, it was recorded off of a television set.
Oh, gosh.
They don't have the original recording of it anymore.
Oh,
and the video quality's really bad. The audio quality's really bad.
Oh, man, that's sad.
Which makes me sad, because I really, really liked it. It's not nearly as good as 12 Angry Men, which is one of my favorite films, but it's nice to see the birth of these things, these ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all I watched. Yeah, and then the 2 movies that we went through today.
Yeah. Oh.
I beat Jedi Fallen Order, and then I'm almost 100% done. I keep going and re-exploring the planets. I think I just have 2 more planets to go, and I'm already 95% done with one of them. So, and I had an absolute blast with that game. While my computer gets shredded by that. The performance is so bad on my computer, but I'm just gotta play Star Wars.
Yeah, I got it on my PS4.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get it on my PS4, but then I'm no, I want to play it while I'm here.
Yeah, it makes sense. I didn't get super far into it, but after we're finished recording the episode, I'm going to be hanging out with Jordan, and we're probably going to play through it since I'm so close to the beginning.
Nice.
Okay. And then I played a little bit more of Death Stranding. I really, really want to finish it because I'm really compelled by the story, but the gameplay is a little tedious, I will say.
Yeah, which sounds like my jam. Yeah, I'm going to probably pick it up once I get back to the States. I just got my final paycheck for my last job.
Oh, nice.
So I'm just like, I'm rich.
Yeah.
No, I'm not nearly. Okay. Well, sounds good. We don't have any questions today.
Oh, Pierre.
Unless you secretly have questions.
I can look up some general movie buff questions.
No, that's okay. We don't need a question.
Okay.
We don't need a question every week.
Fair enough.
This week will just be a chill dance-a-thon,
Yeah.
Can we just recheck our email? Yep, no. Okay. Do you have a movie idea for us?
Sure. Okay. So you know how, like, Shaun of the Dead is like a modern kind of, like, parody, but you can kind of take it seriously?
Yeah.
Alright, I want something like that for scenes of a marriage where it's like scenes from a roommate situation, where, like, you follow the gradual decline of, like, this friendship between two roommates through just, like, isolated scenes.
And it would be Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Oh, dude, that would be perfect. They don't even have to pay me for the idea. They can just have it.
Jesus. Or you know what? Just have them remake scenes from a marriage. Just have them be married.
I would also be okay with that.
Well, that's an idea.
Yes. What about yours?
Oof, that's a good one. I've been thinking about how we're getting the new Sonic movie, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Mario movie and the works from Illumination.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You know what movie we really are missing?
What?
Glover.
What?
All I'm saying is we need a Glover movie.
Is that like an old retro game that I'm not aware of?
Yeah, it's from the Nintendo 64. You play as a magic glove fighting an evil magic glove. And you roll around on a ball, and you gotta take the ball certain places.
Ah.
And you gotta throw the ball in the hoops, and you gotta hit enemies with balls. It's a game.
It looks like
it's like a cult following. I don't know if I would say it's good. Like, I enjoyed my time with it, but I don't know if I would say it's good. I enjoy a lot of bad video games.
Yeah, I
think Glover needs a live action movie.
Yeah, it looks like something where the gameplay would be very not very good, but it's prime for film adaptation because the story in it is just so magnificent.
It's incredible. Honestly, if they did a HD remake of it, I don't know if they did or not, but if they just updated the controls, it's just like the N64 controller. I love it because it's weird and janky and funky, but it's just hard to control things.
It looks like it also came out on PlayStation 1 and Windows 98. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I should play it on Windows 98 and see how it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to downgrade my computer to a Windows 98 machine just so I can play Glover on Windows 98.
I mean, it sounds worth the experience.
Okay. Only a bit in, but I think we're ready to dive into our movies if you're ready, unless you have any other topics you want to talk about.
Not particularly. Not off the top of my head.
Okay. So the first movie we're talking about today is the 1990 film Awakenings, directed by Penny Marshall, starring Robin Williams and Robert De Niro, as well as, what's her name? The woman that plays Marge Simpson.
Wait, what?
That's the main woman in that movie.
What? Oh my gosh.
You couldn't tell from her voice?
I thought it sounded kind of familiar.
I'm just Julie Cabot.
Oh.
Yeah, she's Eleanor Costello in that. The whole time I'm like, she sounds just like Marge. And it was Marge.
Huh.
So this movie is based on a true story of this doctor that goes to work in like a mental hospital in the 60s. So we open the film with Robin Williams, and he's like a super kind of naive guy, and he's really antisocial, and he has trouble like even talking to anybody. And he goes up and he's applying for this job at a mental hospital, and he's trying to get a research role in the psych department, but they don't have it. All they have is like the resident psych doctor, right, or neurologist, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And he's like, I've never even like worked with patients. And the main guy in charge of hiring is just like, never, just like once. And he's like, wait a minute. When you were studying to be a doctor, you had to have some clinical experience. That you take a pulse or like measure a heartbeat or anything, like take some blood. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, cool, you're hired.
That's John Hurt from Home Alone and Sharknado.
Yeah. John Hurt is like the rest. He's not the one in charge of hiring, but he's like the second in command. He's like the head of like the whole doctors, pretty much.
Yeah. He's kind of an asshole in the movie.
Sorry, it's hard. Shall we drinking Gatorade a lot today?
Oh.
So Robin Williams gets this job, and he's really out of his depth. And I made a note that like he was really, really good at portraying like a person that just had no idea what he was doing and was like freaking out.
Yeah.
So he takes this. He's had all these patients that are either catatonic or some of them just like have like severe PTSD. Like he clicks a pen while talking to like a woman, and she just starts freaking out.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, and he like kind of runs away. Oh my gosh. But he gets a new woman. I think her name was Lucy. She's an older woman.
Yeah.
She'd been catatonic for quite a while. Living with her sister, and her sister had passed away, and nobody had found her for like days. But she arrived, and he tries to like speak with her. He tries to like diagnose her, and he turns around. He like takes off her glasses for a second, and then like puts them back on her face, and he turns around and starts writing like, "Oh, she's unresponsive." Diagnosis. He keeps writing a bunch of doctor stuff.
Yeah.
And then he turns around to see her like bent over and like holding a pair of glasses, like she'd caught them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, he was like super confused, like she's responding." So he like starts to do few experiments, like dropping the glasses, and she really bends over and like catches them.
Mm-hmm. And so he presents this to a bunch of the other doctors, and they insist it's just a reflex, but Robin Williams is like confident that...
He's like... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, he's just very confident that it's not a reflex, it's like their brain having a burst of activity and taking on the will of the object that they're catching.
Yeah, he uses that description. He's like, she's borrowing the will of the ball, and then they're just laughing at him, and I'm like, don't laugh at him.
I mean, it does sound a little absurd, I will admit.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe use a different term than borrowing the will of the ball.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a cool thing to say, but it also makes no sense.
Exactly.
And like he's like, I would believe it's a reflex if they were simply like batting away the objects that were thrown at them, but they're like catching them and holding on to them. Yeah. But so then he starts doing this with like every other patient, and they're all able to like all the same ones that were in this catatonic state.
Yeah. So he starts to do some research on all of the patients and finds one common link throughout them all, and they were all diagnosed with what was it called?
Encephalitis lethargica, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an epidemic in like 1970 to 1928, and like they all survived, but then they all became catatonic. And were reintroduced to one of the other lead characters, Leonard, played by Robert De Niro. And I forgot, at the beginning of the movie, there's like a 3-minute scene, probably, or a few scenes that introduce him as a young boy. He's like 11 years old. He's playing with his friends. He's really smart. He's carving his name into a bench.
He's really good at carving his name into that bench in a quick amount of time. Like, holy shit.
What'd you say?
Like, that scene caught me off guard because he goes up and he starts, like, carving his name on the bench, and then, like, he's only doing it for a few seconds, and then you, like, cut to, like, the other side where you see what he's carving, and it's, like, perfect. It's like, oh my gosh.
So I'm like, either he's been here for quite a while, or, like, he's been doing this over a matter of days.
Yeah.
And it's not even, like, it's like a bigger thing. It's not just, like, a thin lines of his name. It's like huge chunks of wood come out of the bench.
Yeah, no, it's like a professional, like, wood shaving, like, of a name. It's weird.
He brings a chainsaw over. But he slowly starts to lose, like, he used to be really good at writing. It shows all his, like, handwriting, and it's, like, really nice. And then he slowly just starts shaking throughout a matter of days.
Yeah.
And it cuts back to the present time where we're introduced to Robin Williams right after, like, his mom's like, hey, I don't know when he's going to be better, kind of thing, to his friend who wanted him out and play.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're reintroduced to him, and he's in this catatonic state, and his mother's still taking care of him. She visits him pretty much every day, I think.
Yeah, pretty often.
And she wants no more. I think Leonard's the one where they find out the common trait because he was talking to her or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And then he finds a paper about him. He relooks at everyone's file.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's really sad that all these places are so understaffed because finding like a common like thing between all of them shouldn't be that hard. Like, people should have already known that.
Yeah, like
but
just one person needed to take a look at the paperwork and do the math.
Yeah. But the fact is, the places are so understaffed, so that's not uncommon that they just won't ever figure it out.
Yeah. There was also...
It was Robin Williams... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to talk about a scene that I think we kind of, like, skipped over, but there's that scene where he, like... walks, oh gosh, what was her name? Rose? On the, like, tiled floor diagonally, and then it, like, runs out, and he's trying to get her to, like, the water fountain.
Oh, was that her name? I thought it was Lucy.
Oh, it might have been Lucy. It might have been Rose. I don't know. I'm on the high end. It is Lucy. Rose is the other one.
Lucy, at one point, he, like, finds her just, like, standing in the middle of the place, and she's like looking at like the water fountain, and there's a bunch of things in her way, so he moves them. Like, there's a table that he moves, and she starts walking, and there's somebody in a wheelchair, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna move you.
Yeah.
And she keeps walking until like the pattern tiles end, and
I thought it was...
he doesn't... What was that?
I was gonna say, I thought it was pretty funny because I've been playing chess all week, and this, like, scene reminded me of a chess game, because she's, like, moving diagonally across this tiled floor, and there are people playing chess, like, directly behind her as well.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just, like, supposed to tell the audience, like, it's a pattern before like, the main character figures it out. So he has no idea why, but one day... while this is going on, he also meets this woman who's like a nurse there named Eleanor, and she's really nice to him. She's like, hey, it does get better. I know it doesn't seem like it ever will, but it does.
Mm-hmm.
And she obviously wants to canoodle with him for whatever reason.
Yeah, for some reason.
But he's just kind of... He always goes out and opens the window in his office and looks outside and gets a breath of fresh air when he's feeling really overwhelmed. And he does that one day, and he sees somebody playing like hopscotch, and he sees, wait, a pattern, and he like freaks out. He's like, I get it. So then they literally just Sharpie in a pattern.
Yeah.
On the tile that's not pattern, and then Lucy walks the whole way. And he's like, we did it! So he's obviously convinced that, these people aren't all catatonic. They do still have responses. They might be conscious inside their heads. And he goes and talks to another, doctor, which is Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, if he used to be a doctor at that same ward or if he had published a book on it. I can't remember exactly what his experience was.
I think he had found him when he was, researching that disease in the newspapers.
Okay.
He was like...
and Max von Sydow is just like, nope, they're not conscious inside it. And he's like, how do you know? And it's just like, because the alternative is too horrifying to think about.
Yeah, what fallacious reasoning.
And I'm just like, oh, it's kind of a bad reason.
Yeah.
I get it. It would be sad, but...
It's like, maybe if you realized how terrible that is, you would have a little more incentive to, I don't know, try to figure out something.
Yeah, exactly. So Robin Williams is just going above and beyond. All the other doctors are just kind of lollygagging around.
Yeah.
And just not doing anything. But he's staying late every day. He's doing a bunch of research on his own. And he goes to a seminar for
Parkinson's, medication.
Yeah, what was it called? It had kind of a funny name.
Oh, I don't remember.
L-Dopa.
That is a funny name.
Who was that actor that was doing the seminar?
I don't know. I recognized him too. Hold on, let me look it up real quick because I'm on the IMDb
you do
page.
That. You do that. I'm gonna keep going. So this L-Dopa is supposed to be prescribed for Parkinson's. It's supposed to be helpful for that situation. To steady their brain, steady their hands, all that. And Robin Williams has this idea that what if these people in this catatonic state are kind of have a thing similar to Parkinson's, where their body is convulsing so much, their brain, their body, their mouth, everything, to the point where they eventually just freeze up and are like a human statue. And Robin Williams' performance in the scene is really weird because he's just like, look at me at a statue.
Yeah.
I really laughed at this scene. I'm just like, I don't think I was supposed to laugh.
Yeah, you definitely brought a little bit of comedy to the movie in certain bits.
Yeah, not all of it I don't think was a good addition. Usually the comedic parts are okay, this works, but some of it I'm just like, I don't know if that works in this scene here.
Yeah.
Any clue on that guy?
I'm still looking. There are a lot of people in this movie.
There are. And that just happens when you have a hospital with here's a million unnamed characters that are in one scene.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I gotta kind of thumb through it.
But he talks to this guy and he's like, I don't know, you're the doctor. I'm just the physicist. You were the one that needs to check it out. So he takes these ideas to what's his name? John Hurt, is that his name?
Yeah.
The resident main doctor there. He's L-Dopa can cause a good reaction with these people. And he wants to put them all on it. And John Hurt's like, I'm not putting every person on this drug that we have no experience with. And Robin Williams is just like, now we got it. But they eventually come to a decision that they can do it with one person to start off with written permission from their guardian. So Robin Williams chooses Leonard, and probably because he has the best working relationship with the mother, he's talked to her a couple times, and she's obviously there every day, so he thinks she'll be the easiest to convince. And he eventually does. He's like, listen, there's this drug, and I don't know what it'll do, but... And she's like, well, what do you hope it does? And he says, give him his life back or bring him back to this world.
Yeah.
And she does agree to it, and they start trying to give it to him. They start with just a really low dose, and then they go up to a higher dose. And they get up to like 500 milligrams, and they start at like 100, I think. And it's still not doing anything. And Robin Williams is there late one night when nobody else is. And he just kind of does it himself instead of going to the person that's supposed to change the dosage. And he just has like a whole 1,000 milligrams and gives it to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude,
yeah,
you're kind of going crazy. Maybe don't do that.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, he really lucked out that worked.
Yeah, I'm like, that could have killed that guy.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, but it does work. He like falls asleep in the chair next to Leonard, and he wakes up in the middle of the night, and Leonard's not there. And he's like looking through the hospital. He sees the door open, and he finds Leonard just in a chair. He's trying to write his name, and it's obviously like. I really like. I wasn't really sure if I liked the first scene where it introduced Leonard as a kid.
Yeah,
but I do now because of this scene. I thought I liked the symmetry between him writing his name and then him writing his name again. And it's pretty like you can't read it, but you can tell like where the loops are that it was him, like the same name.
Looking for this. I just pulled up the movie on my computer and I'm looking for that scene. Because most of the cast doesn't have photos on IMDb.
Yeah. He might be in John Wick, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, shit. I think that is the guy.
It's just weird because he has a really weird accent. I'm not sure if he's like Swedish or like Norwegian or I don't know.
Let me look it up.
It's some like Western European probably, or maybe Eastern European. It's a strange accent. And he has strange delivery. But anyway, so Leonard's awake now, and he starts like talking, and I really, really like Robert De Niro's performance in this movie.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's like I'm always like concerned when there are actors that are going to be portraying like disabled people, because obviously you can't have a catatonic person play themselves because they're catatonic.
Yeah,
but you need to do something that's respectful, and this seemed really, really good.
Yeah, no, I liked it quite a bit.
I like Robin Williams' role as well. Like I think he did a good job as well. Jeez, Robert really hit it out of the park.
Yeah, no,
but
he did.
This is about. So he wakes up and they start like experimenting, and he's taking this medicine. I think daily, or I'm not sure. They say they're giving it to him a lot, but I'm not sure if it's daily or not.
Yeah,
but he wakes up and he's talking, and he's just this really nice guy. But he doesn't. There's a scene where he doesn't really realize that. How much time has passed, and he sees a picture that Robin Williams takes of him, and he like sees it, and he's like, Sam. He like touches his face, and I thought this scene was really good. Then he walks in the bathroom and just kind of stares himself in the mirror. Mm-hmm. I was like, oof, that's rough. Jeez, God. Oh. But he's like really nice to everybody. He's talking to everybody. He's like, "Hello, how are you today?" And it's really sweet too. He's finally getting his chance back.
Yeah, he's finally out in the real conscious world.
Mom a lot. He meets a girl who's taking care of
her father,
her dad, who had like I think he had a stroke or something like that.
Yeah,
and he's also like he can't move or do anything, but it's a different like disease, so his elbow is not going to help him. But Robin Williams wants to put everybody on this medicine, but it would cost the hospital $12,000 a month, which, if we're looking at 1969,
it's a lot.
I'm going to check how much money that is.
Does this guy have an IMDb page? I can't even find him in the John Wick movies.
Yeah, that would be like almost $85,000 a month in today's currency. But Ron Williams, so John Hurt's like, no, we can't do it. And Ron Williams is like, let me go straight to the patrons, so the rich people that pay for a lot of the things in the hospital. And John Hurt's like, okay, fine. So he makes a little movie with Robert De Niro and with Leonard. And he's like, I've been told that I've been gone for quite some time, but I'm back now. And it's a really good little movie. If I was rich, I would also give all my money to this hospital.
Yeah, I'd certainly give quite a bit.
Yeah, and Leonard's like, so they get enough money to put everybody on this medication. So then they're like, I want to say there's like 20 patients with the same thing, and they all start waking up.
Oh, wait. Yeah. I think this dude's one of the Germans from The Big Lebowski. Like the nihilists?
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay.
Okay.
He's not the guy from John Wick. He's one of the nihilists from The Big Lebowski.
But he reminds me of somebody from John Wick.
Yeah, the guy you're thinking of, I think, is Michael Nyqvist. I can't pronounce this. It's like Nyqvist. Like,
Nyqvist.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able. I'd slaughter whatever the pronunciation is on it.
All right, so where were we? So they're all waking up, and this is about halfway through the movie, and I was kind of like, because I didn't know anything about the true story or anything about this. I didn't actually know this was based on a true story until the very beginning, where it's just based on a true story.
Yeah.
So I was kind of confused where the movie was going to go for another hour.
No, I had a pretty good idea. I just got like major Flowers for Algernon vibes, and I wouldn't be surprised if like that story was based off of the real life events that like occurred. Because have you seen that or read it?
Didn't they do No, but I've seen that. I think they did a Simpsons episode.
They might have. I know that there's an It's Always Sunny episode about it.
Oh, you're right. No, I've seen that.
Similar kind of concept, only it's intelligence instead of being like sentient.
Yeah. So for the next 20 minutes, this is probably my least favorite part of the film. I just thought it was kind of like poorly paced, felt really long. I don't know why, but like for the next 20 minutes, they're just kind of happy and they're doing a bunch of stuff. They're going out in public. They're going on excursions. They're being happy.
Yeah.
One woman who's like has some hair gray. She's like, I need black hair dye. Like they're trying to be. Some of them haven't been conscious. A lot of them haven't been conscious since they were like 20 or 30.
Yeah, because these are all like younger people who were.
Like a lot of them. The oldest people are probably like 60 or 70, so they got this disease when they were like 20 or 30.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Robert De Niro got it when he was 11. I think it probably fully affected him when he was like 12, and then he went into this kind of catatonic state.
Yeah.
So, and there's a bunch of like interesting questions that are like only kind of hinted at. It's like, oh, how does he even function like as an adult if the last time he was like conscious was when he was like 12? Like, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's also like he is super attracted to this woman, and she's kind of into him as well. And I'm like, isn't that kind of unethical for her to be interested in him? In a sense, because he has in some ways, has the mind of a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
It's like in the movie Big. Except he was still alive and doing it. It's not like he just magically became 45 or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, I'm pretty, I'd think her character was just completely, like, fabricated. Because they tend to do that with, like, a lot of, like, based on true stories, like, Patch Adams, which is another Robin Williams doctor movie, based on a true story.
Coppola, I think.
Did he really direct that? I have to look.
No, he did Jack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one's like based on a true story, and Robin Williams, Patch Adams, has like a love interest in the movie who never even existed.
But the scenes with him are pretty sweet. She's mostly just like talking to him.
Yeah, it's more like I got like a platonic kind of feel from it from her end.
It seems like he's pretty infatuated, and she's like kind of wants to be friends.
Yeah,
especially because he's like he doesn't think you'll ever get out of there, which is where we go to when things start going down.
Yeah,
he really wants to leave the hospital. He wants to go out and he wants to go on a walk. I think partially because he wants to go out with her, but also he just wants to leave by himself and go on a walk and just, be a human, be free. And he goes up in front of like the whole committee and it's like, I want to leave. I want to come back at night, but I want to be able to be my own human. And there's this woman that's like, do you see the aggression that you're showing towards us? And he's like, or she says, do you see the unconscious aggression you're showing towards us? And he's just like, it's unconscious, how would I know?
Yeah.
But also I'm like, what? Calm down, lady.
Yeah,
this guy's been through the worst things like imaginable.
Yeah.
Show a little empathy.
Seriously.
But then so he's freaking out because they say no, pretty much. And he's like, you didn't awaken a thing, you awakened a person. And I want to be able to do what I want. But they say no. And like even Robin Williams' character agrees with them. It's like we don't know what this medicine will do. It's too early to tell because I think they've only been up for like I think it's been up for like a month, maybe a month and a half. And I think the other patients have only been up for like a couple weeks. Yeah.
And he starts to show some pretty negative signs. A lot of ticks.
He tries to run out of the hospital and they stop him and they throw him in a mental ward for a bit. Like I think it's like a ward 5 or something. And it's more for like mentally ill people instead of like the catatonic ward or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he tries to start like an uprising. I'm just like, whoa, dude, this went crazy quick. He's like, they're sitting up there in their stupid chairs telling us what to do.
Yeah.
And they don't know what it's like. They don't want to be reminded. They keep us behind locked doors because they don't want to be reminded there's something they can't cure. And this whole speech was like really good, but I was also like, wow, you're going crazy really quickly, man.
Yeah, it was a real quick turn.
He does start like doing a little bit of nervous twitches. I think in this scene it like teeters between the idea that is it getting worse or is it just like a nervous tick because like he's like freaking out.
Yeah.
But then the next scene, Robin Williams comes to see him and he's shaking his hand. Like he's slurring his words and it's obviously going wrong. And Robin Williams is like, I can't figure it out right now. And he's like, look at yourself, you're getting worse. And he's trying to help him. And he walks over and like touches his shoulder and Robert De Niro like pushes him down and yells at him. He's like, bruh. Mm-hmm. And then
he's got the fucking I like his little bodyguards that he's got in there.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of like bodyguards that are like, you can't see him.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was. I was laughing a lot. It was just these 3 guys. And I'm like, what is going on? He's got his own little posse. But pretty much like immediately after, like 5 minutes, because Robert De Niro realizes he's getting much worse, and he wants to spend he thinks that he might just go fully out of it again. So he wants to spend the time with his friends and his family. So he's like calls for Robin Williams, and they take him out of there and put him back on board, and he's really nice again, pretty much.
Yeah. And it just slowly starts to go.
Yeah, everybody else is like afraid that they're gonna go back under or whatever as well. But Robin Williams is like, we don't know that yet. You can't freak out until we know. But the film gets pretty sad. Robert De Niro's like freaking out, and he's getting super, super shaky. And he goes and has lunch with the one girl he's interested in. What was her name?
Let me see. It's John Wick.
Do you remember?
Give me just 1 second. It was Paula? Let me see. Yeah, I think it was Paula.
Yeah, never trust Paula. Paula!
Paula from Scenes from a Marriage? No way.
Yeah, so Paula goes and like they have lunch and he's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna go back under. I'm never gonna leave. And she's trying to give him hope, but he's shaking and he tries to say goodbye and give her a handshake and he's like freaking out and she like dances with him.
Yeah, which calms him down.
Yeah. And he's like slowly shaking a little less and sad. But then, yeah, pretty much slowly everybody just goes back to their catatonic state.
Yeah.
And the film pretty much ends. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of like sad that they didn't like focus on that a bit more, and it just kind of like fizzled out, especially since there was so much kind of like sagging weight in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. But the film pretty much ends with Robin Williams like in front of that same like committee or a bunch of people, and he's saying that like it wasn't a failure because these people got to wake up and live lives that weren't possible before and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really, really sad. Like Robin Williams is like, I lost my friend and stuff. It's very sad.
Yeah.
And then the film ends with being like, hey, this is what happened after them, all that jazz, because it's based on a true story. I need closure. I never really got it because they never really woke up again. It said that like every once in a while somebody was, yeah, but never to the extent because they were like conscious and available for like months at a time. Like it was over a summer.
Yeah, and it's like that's sad, man.
But there's the story's about those two mostly, but there's Robin Williams hooks up with Eleanor.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a thing. I like a lot of the small character moments in this movie a lot as well. Like there's the guy that wakes up, like the older dude that's kind of balding, and he's really not in a good mood because he's like, I think he said my wife's in an institution.
Oh yeah, and
I'm old.
Kids are dead.
My son's in the west, out and somewhere out west that I have no idea about.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's not in a good mood, but then he like there's just like a slow, like kind of small little arc with him where like later he's like running around. He's like, my son sent me a postcard. There's a lot of like small background characters that have background scenes that you can watch like in the middle of your own scene, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
The same goes for Lucy. Like she's like, I know it's not 1929, but I can't imagine not being 22. And I'm like, no, it's same, Lucy. I can't imagine not being 22 either.
Yeah, and the lady who dyed her hair black got a good dance with Robin Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. And she has a bunch of like friends that she brings over from like I think when she was in like high school or something. She's like, well, isn't he so sexy?
Yeah.
But I did really enjoy the small character moments from pretty much everybody else. That's why I was kind of, I don't know why, the middle part, or like from like an hour to like an hour and 15, I was just like kind of sagging moments. I think they spent too much time like talking about Robin Williams being like, oh, I'm kind of antisocial, when I'm like, let's focus on the other people.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was important to show that, like, how strong his friendship with Leonard was, but that was about it. Like, I don't know if, like, because losing his friend again was really tough for him.
Yeah. I mean, they pretty much clearly had established in the story up to that point that Robin Williams' character was very, like, kind of isolated and Shinji Ikari-like, where he doesn't really, like, connect with people, and it's like, yeah, we kind of already got that. You don't need to devote, like, a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Like, maybe, like,
Yeah,
that.
and he even said at one point, to I think Leonard, he's like, I don't really have any friends, you know, like, they've already established it, so this part just kind of dragged.
Mm-hmm.
But that was really the only scene I didn't like. I really liked the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, like, I thought that, like, Randy Newman did the soundtrack, he composed it, and, like, he's done a bunch of, like, Disney stuff.
Yeah, he did Toy Story.
And all that. And, like, I thought the soundtrack was, like, well made, but it was just a little too generic for my taste, I think.
Yeah, a lot of the, like, kind of production of this movie was a little on the generic side for me.
Yeah, like, I think the movie really shines with the performances. Like, I think pretty much all the performances I really, really like.
I'd agree.
So, like, without them, I think the film would just be, like, pretty much average. But I thought the performances, especially by Williams and De Niro, were, like, really good. And honestly, like, the woman who played Lucy was really good as well, for the small things she did.
Yeah, she's in other stuff.
Yeah, she's like, I've seen her quite a bit. I just can't remember off the top of my head what she's in.
She's in the first Ghost. She's the librarian in the first Ghostbusters. She's in Tu Wong Fu.
Oh.
Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. The first.
Have you seen Tu Wong Fu? I can't remember.
When I was a little kid, I haven't watched it in a really long time.
What character she plays? She plays a character that doesn't talk for like a really long time. So she like plays a very similar character. That's really funny.
Huh. And Ace Ventura, the first one. She's also in Furry Vengeance with
Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
We should watch it.
Oh, one day.
Maybe I'll pick that.
Oh, dude, apparently she's also in Synecdoche, New York. What the heck? I haven't seen that one yet. I need to,
me
though.
I don't think I've seen... Yeah, I haven't seen any of the... I haven't seen Anomalisa either.
Anomalisa is really good. Yeah, the only... I haven't seen his second movie, Human Nature. That one's got, like, Tim Robbins in it. I haven't seen Adaptation yet. No.
Or no, he just wrote Human Nature.
I think Spike Jonze directed Human Nature. But yeah, no, his early body of work.
Michel Gondry did.
Oh, yeah, that's right, he did. And then they, like, collaborated again once they got onto,
Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah. But I haven't seen Human Nature, I haven't seen Adaptation, and I haven't seen Synecdoche. But outside of that, I've seen the rest of Charlie Kaufman's movies. Oh, I also haven't seen that Confessions of a Dangerous Mind movie that George Clooney directed.
George Clooney's an interesting director. It's either, like, pretty, like, generic as all hell, or pretty good.
I don't think I've seen a good George Clooney directed movie. I think all of the ones I've seen have been pretty big duds, but I've only seen, like,
I remember liking Rides in March when I first saw it, but I only saw, like, 75% of it, so I don't really remember it good enough to, like, rate it.
I haven't seen
and
that
I've also
one.
heard good things about Good Night and Good Luck with Jeff Daniels.
I've only seen The Monuments Men, I think is the one.
Yeah. I remember, like, being kind of excited for that movie from the trailer.
No, so was I.
When it first aired, I was like, and then I never saw it because I heard it was, like, pretty bad or pretty boring. I think most of it was, like, it was really boring.
Yeah, it really didn't have much going for it. But yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about Awakenings?
Not particularly, no.
Alright, what did you give the film?
I would give this film a 6.
And I am sitting at a 7.
6.5.
So we're going to give that one a 6.5. Alright. So, Thoroughbreds. You want to just jump right in?
Yeah. Alright.
Okay. You start. I'm going to go grab a Gatorade. I'll be right back in like two seconds.
Okay. So, Thoroughbreds came out in 2017. I think it got a wide release in 2018. Yeah. Let's see. let me pull up the movie here and just go through it. So it starts off with Anna Taylor-Joy. Her character is hanging out with Olivia Cook's character.
Taylor-Joy.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it is.
I think so.
It totally is. I'm dumb.
Man, I've been sleeping on Anya Taylor-Joy, by the way.
She's a good actress. She's in a lot of...
She's really good.
Yeah, like, the first thing I think I saw her in was Split, and then just, like, I keep discovering, like, these little movies that she'll either play, like, a small part or a pretty significant part in, and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, she was in The Witch.
Yeah.
Which we just watched.
Yeah, I liked this movie quite a bit. Let's see. Yeah, so Amanda and Lily. And,
Yep.
Yeah, so the movie starts off with Olivia Cook's character, Amanda, just kind of like looking at her horse, and there's like a knife kind of like nearby. And then it cuts to a later point in her life, I guess, where she's being dropped off at this like really
mansion.
Yeah, it's a mansion. And that's where Anya Taylor-Joy's character, Lily, lives. And basically, Lily's mom is paying her to hang out with Amanda because I guess she just feels like she needs to socialize.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically, Amanda...
Which makes sense, because Amanda's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, she's just like a total, like, sociopath, borderline psychopath, if not psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just doesn't feel any emotions, and just fakes a lot of it. And basically, yeah, there are these awkward hangouts where she kind of is like reading into Anya Taylor-Joy, and we find out that like Anya Taylor-Joy really hates her stepdad. So Amanda's just like, well, why don't you fucking just murder him? And she's like, haha, that's very funny. And yeah, there's just like a lot of like really small moments that kind of like develop this weird friendship between Amanda and Lily, and kind of establishing what a dick the stepdad is. And then there's...
Yeah, like there's that scene...
Go ahead.
Where she like takes off, she like loosens his bike spokes or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's like right after
and
they basically tell her what college she's going to.
Yeah, like she... Yeah, there's a thing where there's a paper where it looks like she cheated.
Yeah, plagiarism.
She plagiarized an essay, like almost a whole essay.
And
it's a reapplication letter, and she's talking about how, hey, me and what's his name, Mark? Sounds about right.
The stepdad, yeah.
Yeah, was it Mark?
Yeah.
Me and Mark have been talking, and we think Brightmoor's really good. Brightmoor's like this college for like behaviorally challenged people or something. I'm just like, they have that?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
And she's like, I don't want to go if I'm not getting back in, I'm staying local. And Mark's like going back, and he's like, I already put down the down payment.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, weirdo, why are you just lurking back there hidden? Also, he's just a dick, but she loses the bike spokes, and the next time we see him, yeah, he like has a broken nose, or like at least a bandage over his nose. And
yeah, he totally like melts out.
The mom's trying to like adjust it, and he's like, I'm fine. She's like, no, just let me help. And he's like, I'm fine. And she's like, no, let me just... And then he starts freaking out. He's like, will you just ever fucking listen?
Yeah.
And he like freaks out on her. He's just the worst.
Yeah, no, he's a real like fucking...
He's like, what do you want me to be, a robot? I'm fine.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But also, he's a piece of shit. So, at an earlier scene... Lily had met Anton Yelchin's character, Tim. who,
Anton Yelchin's character is so good. Like, I really like his performance in this movie.
yeah, he does a really good job, and it's like,
especially this opening scene, because he's just like crazy.
Yeah, he's like this crazy, like, sex offender, drug dealer.
Yeah, he's like a drug dealer at this like kids party, and they find out this guy went to prison for statutory rape. He had sex with somebody our age when he was 25. He's like, calm down, I was 23.
And it's like, oof, that's not much better.
And so he's like, you gotta leave. And he's like, shut the fuck up, you gorilla face, stupid idiot.
Yeah.
Like, there's just this white kid that has like a pretty normal face. He's like, you gorilla looking dude. He's like, what's going on?
And then he basically is just like out in the parking area, just smoking a joint.
Yeah,
and
he got punched in the face.
Yeah. And then he kind of like harasses Lily as she's leaving.
Yeah. He's just like, our time is now, motherfucker.
Yes. So basically Lily comes to the conclusion, because there is that one scene I was talking about earlier where Amanda's like, why don't you kill him? And she made like Lily uncomfortable, so Lily's like, alright, you can just leave. And in this course of time, Amanda was having like some like not withdrawals, but she was just like, you could tell that kind of like irked her a bit, and she just wants to like stay in contact with Lily.
Yeah, you see them multiple messages over like 5 days. They're just like, hi.
Yeah, and she's like standing out in the yard until she like shows up at her house, and she's basically like, well, how would you do it? And she's like, I wouldn't, you would need to be away, there'd be alibis, you hire someone else to do it. So they hire Tim to do it. And
well, yeah, first off, they find him just as a dishwasher in a nursing home.
Yeah.
He's like, how did you find me?
And they just asked around.
He's like, so fucking unprofessional.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favorite, like, comedic scenes of the movie. Because at one point they ask him if he has a gun. He's like, why would I tell you if I have a gun? And they keep goading him to, like, ask if he has a gun. He's like, yes, I have a gun. He's like, I don't believe he probably has a spork.
Yeah.
I don't have a fucking spork.
Yeah, no, I found a lot of the banter in this movie pretty funny. But yeah, so basically they get him to admit that he has a gun, and then they, like, make the proposition, like, hey, we have a job for you. And they take him to the house and kind of, like, show him and lay out the game plan, and he's like, do you guys even have the money? And it turns out that they plan on blackmailing him into doing it, and he's like, fuck that. And then they try to, like, take the gun from him, and they threaten to shoot him, but he's like, you're not gonna fucking shoot me. And while, like, Anya Taylor-Joy is, like, kind of, like, having him, just stalling him with the gun pointed at him, Amanda comes up and, like, whacks him in the head with a lamp. And then, they, like, just, like, put him in the bathtub and bandage his head up.
Like, really poorly. It looks like he has a, like, cone hat on.
Yeah. And, he's like, what the fuck am I gonna tell my father? I live with him and he's gonna see my head. And it's like, just wear a hat.
Wear a hat.
And they're like, alright, we're gonna take the gun from you. You're gonna come to this house. You're gonna take the gun out of the barbecue. And you're gonna go in and shoot Mark. And so Anya Taylor-Joy's character, like, goes on, like, a spa vacation with her mother, and I don't remember what Amanda's doing, but
she has, like, a psychotherapy appointment, like a state mandated one. So that time was the only time both of them had, like,
an alibi. Yeah. So yeah, basically they split up, and then we see that Tim does go onto the property, but he just takes the gun.
Oh yeah, because like
Yeah.
they said there weren't alarms or anything, but there are these like giant floodlights.
Yeah.
That are, like,
Motion censored, yeah.
So like he gets there and you don't see him at all, but you just see like Mark sitting in bed and then the light comes on and goes out. There doesn't seem to be anything. He turns around and then these giant floodlights come on. So he like grabs like a poker and comes out like a fireplace poker.
Yeah.
And then it cuts the next scene where Lily and her mother like checking out at the spa, and he shows up, and she's like, "Well, he didn't do it."
Yep. And
she's freaking out to Amanda. She's like, "Oh, he's gonna go to the police." She's like, "No, he's not."
Yeah. So basically, they're like, "Whatever. If he leaves us alone, we'll leave him alone." Because they also like question, like, "Oh, is he gonna come after us?" Which that's totally the direction I thought the film was going to go.
Yeah.
But no, and that's because that's kind of like what the trailer makes it look like. Because I had watched the trailer like a long time ago, and I remembered like seeing that scene.
I didn't know anything about the movie.
I remember seeing the scene.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I remember seeing the scene where he like points the gun at her face, and he's like, "Here, take it." And I just like figured he would like have some sort of like where they have to deal with him more, but I was kind of surprised to see him just kind of fuck off for the rest of the movie pretty much. Yeah. Which makes total sense given his character, having seen the movie now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically
they just start hanging out again.
Yeah, and
the stepdad Mark is the worst. Lily as well, but Lily's like. I think it's important to note that nobody in this movie is a good person.
Yeah, everyone's got kind of a bad thing going.
Yeah, Lily and Amanda are pretty despicable people.
Yeah, Amanda's a fucking sociopath. Lily is like becoming a sociopath as the movie goes on, and even then before that she was like
I think she's like always has been, but like she's just better at hiding.
Yeah, well at the beginning of the movie Amanda explained that she kind of like just recently discovered that about herself not too long ago, so it might seem like it's kind of like a setup, like, oh, you know,
well, she said that she's just gonna stop lying to herself.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's kind of the process that Lily was going through the movie as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, there's like a scene where like she's smoking in the house and her stepdad comes and like basically just like...
Amanda has like a knife.
Yeah, Amanda's got a knife because they made like an agreement that if he like does any sort of like physical harm to her or something, that she would come out and like stab him. But that didn't happen. Instead, he just kind of tells Lily what a entitled, selfish brat she is, and then leaves. And then Amanda comes out.
He's like, if I didn't already put down the full payment, then I wouldn't be sending you anywhere. But as soon as you go, you're cut off from my wallet.
Yeah. And then Amanda comes out and she's like, well, he's kind of a dick, but he's also kind of right. Which kind of upsets her.
You're not very good in the empathy department.
Yeah. So, of course, that pisses her off, and she's like, alright, I think you should go. And then, it's like 3 days radio silence, and then they're hanging out again. And she, like, drugs Amanda's orange juice that she's drinking, and she basically, like, explains, like, don't drink it, I drugged your orange juice. I was gonna go upstairs and kill him and make it look like you did it. And then Amanda's like, oh, okay. And just, like, drinks it because basically right before she, like, admitted that, she was asking her, like, well, you don't really feel anything, so have you ever, like, thought about taking your life? And she's like, I hadn't really thought about it. And then, yeah, basically she just willingly drinks the orange juice, and then Lily goes upstairs and does that. And,
I really like this scene because it doesn't show anything that happens. It just slowly like zooms in on like Amanda while she's like
on the couch,
out.
yeah.
from the roofies, and then all you hear is like the classic movie playing in the background, and like you can hear like a thud if you're paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a couple thuds, and then you just see Anya Taylor-Joy's character come back, and she just had like blood all over her and her gloved hands and stuff.
Yeah.
She just like wipes it on Amanda and puts the knife in her hand or whatever, puts it on the ground in front of her, I think.
Yeah, and then she just kind of like lays on her for a second, like just kind of bawling, adjusting to what she just did, and then yeah,
and then I cuts forward,
and it's Tim. He's a valet now, and
yeah,
Lily basically it's like, oh, you're moving up in the world, I see, because he has like this huge spiel earlier on how 10 years from now he's gonna like live in just as nice of a house.
That scene really made me sad.
Yeah. Oof.
Just because he said like 10 years from now I'll be running this game, and I'm just like, oh my god. Because I do, like, as an actor, Anton Yelchin, when he was alive, he he was in like 3 or 4 movies a year, and I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
And I do think if he was given like 10 more years, he would be like one of the most successful actors working, you know?
Oh yeah. Like I could see him.
So that scene made me very sad.
Gosh. Yeah. No, it's rough. And
yeah, but he's just a valet. She's like, oh, moving up in this world. He's like, why are you here? She's like, I have a lunch meeting.
Yeah, and he's like, what, the like director of the college takes lunch meetings, and she's like, no, but he was a close friend of my stepdad, so. And then basically
he's like, yeah, I heard about that.
And she's like,
and he asked if he's like, yeah, I didn't want to do it anymore, but Amanda felt differently.
Yep, and then he asks, he's like, well, have you kept in contact? And she's like, I got a letter. And then we, like, go into a sequence where we, like, read her letter and get, like, a glimpse at what Amanda's life in prison's like, and she's pretty content with it, seems.
She's like, yeah, because she's actually in, like, a mental hospital, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Some detained facility.
Yeah.
And then...
And,
Anya Taylor-Joy or Lily is basically like, I didn't read it. I just threw it away. And then the movie ends. Oh, after she gives Tim the keys to the car.
Yeah. Honestly, what surprised me the most is that I found the most, like, empathetic character or I guess the most empathetic, like, out of the 4 mains. Because the mom's pretty... Like, she doesn't really do anything wrong, I guess.
I mean, she's
barely even in the film.
She doesn't stand up
she's a bad
to
mother.
herself. Yeah, she's kind of a bad mother. But outside of that, I mean, everyone's got at least some sort of, like, flaw attached to them.
But honestly, I think that Anton Yelchin's character was probably the most empathetic, which surprised me.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, but I really like the composition for this film.
The what?
The like score.
Oh yeah, no, it was pretty good.
Because the movie's in 4 chapters, and I believe the second chapter, the beginning of it, there's like this weird like drums that start coming in, and this like howling that comes in. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah,
but I really like that song. Like, what's going on? Is somebody gonna die right now? But I'm like, it's only like 20 minutes of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I was surprised at how fast this movie went by. Like, I kept, like, just like, because I got through the first half and it's like, oh my gosh, it's just speeding by. Felt like there was a lot more, that, like, I don't know, it just felt like a longer movie.
Yeah. I also expected, like, from the very few things I knew about the film, I just expected it to be like 2 hours. But it's only like an hour and 32 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
There's, I really like, I like the composition. I thought the like, cinematography was pretty good as well. There was like a lot of like the first shots of the film I didn't like. I don't know why. Like the first scene where you see the car like pull up to the house, a lot of it just looked like really bad. I don't know why, but then everything else looked like good to really good, at least to me.
Oh fuck, we forgot to talk about like the horse thing.
Oh yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Amanda's character, when she like killed a horse at one point, like her mom's horse, it was like sick, so she wanted to like put it out of its misery, but she didn't have like a gun, so she like looked up ways to like quickly execute a horse, and she found like something about like a method they use in Mexico where they use like a specific kind of curved blade to like pierce into their vertebrae and like paralyze them. And she kind of like improvised with just a knife and like ended up like kicking its head off. And I was like, oh my god, how graphic. But yeah, we find that out like towards like the last third of the movie.
Yeah. I feel like we forgot the like most important thing to Amanda's character.
Yeah, and I mean it relates to the title of the film because Thoroughbreds is like the breed of horse.
Yeah, and it was but also they're like Thoroughbreds because they're super high class.
Yeah, that too, like of a pure breed.
Yeah. No, but what did you think of the film?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I would probably give this one a 7.
Yeah, I did. I liked it a lot. I would give it a 7 as well. Like I said, there was a couple like weird things. I also think it could have been expanded upon a little bit more.
Yeah, I would have liked to see like. I felt like they could have totally like made this a 2-hour movie and maybe like added just some more good character scenes because I just found myself super sucked in and would have enjoyed to see more. Leaves you wanting a little more.
I would like to see more Anton Yelchin. I don't know where they would fit him in.
Yeah.
He was like my favorite character in the film. He was just so like weird.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed like the kind of main trio of characters of like Amanda, Lily, and Tim. I thought they were honestly, fun to watch.
Like, I thought Mark was like a good like villainous thing because like they're all bad people, but you have to have like an overarching bad person. So he's just like old and bad.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like a lot of the things he was saying weren't like wrong either, but he was just the worst about it.
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, why are stepdads in movies?
The hypocrisy of everything was just super there. Like at one point she yells for her mom and he yells at her to stop yelling, and I'm like, what? Now you're yelling.
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh. But
and I think that the mom was a little too present at times because the whole idea was she wasn't present enough in her daughter's life, kind of thing. But then, which was correct for like the first like 40 minutes, but then she was there like a decent amount. And I was like, yeah, I think you're here a little too much. You're in a little too many scenes. I would have preferred if she was only in like 2 scenes.
Yeah. Like the tanning bed scene and the scene where they're in the spa. Maybe a scene at the end after the tragedy happens.
I guess the scene that, actually, I guess she's in enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I also gave it a 7, so. We enjoyed both movies this week.
Yeah.
I've been waking up at like 4 a.m. recently, just because my sleep schedule is all messed up, and I've been watching them before starting the day.
Yeah, I've been on a messed up sleep schedule too, because I had like a dinner I had to go to the other night, but I'm pretty much back on sync now.
It's good. Do you have any other things to say about either of these films?
Not particularly, no. Oh, there's one scene in Awakenings when Robin Williams shows up and he totally leaves his keys in the car door. I thought that was pretty funny.
I think I wonder if that was just on purpose, because there's a bunch of scenes where he like leaves the window open. Like, is that's just supposed to be like, is he supposed to like be forgetful?
Yeah,
because at one point he like leaves the window open, like
little micro characterisms, I guess. I don't know.
Because they had a lot of that, and that's why I like the movie so much. Because, like I said, it was really generic, but I think that the writing was pretty good, and I think there was a lot of small character moments as well. The movie ain't no Big, right?
Yeah,
it's not as good as Big, but
oh yeah, it's from the director of Big.
Marshall movie you should see.
Yeah, Big's great.
I also really want to see A League of Their Own because I've heard that's very.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. I need to though.
I heard it's one of the quintessential sports movies.
Yeah, I've heard the same, so I guess I'll have to check it out.
And then, Corey Finley has his new movie coming out. I don't know if it has a release date yet, but knowing things, it probably got picked up by A24, and we'll see it in like a year with like one theater.
Yep, probably. Thanks, A24.
I just looked, and it looks like the composer for Thoroughbreds haven't done any other movies. So that's kind of
well, all right. Hopefully he gets more.
I got classes, right? Or no?
No.
You have classes.
I do.
So what do we watch?
All right. So my movie is from 1966, and it's called The Hero. It's from Indian director, I think this is how you pronounce his name, Satyajit Ray. Yeah, he directs like the Apu trilogy, if you've ever heard of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just got the Criterion for it, so it's like, oh, might as well pick that.
The Hero, okay. I've never even heard of this song. I've heard of that trilogy.
Yeah, I think it's available to stream on Criterion streaming service, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's check. Yes, it is on the Criterion channel if anyone has it. Okay, cool. My pick, I will give you a couple options.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just tell you, I'll ask you the year, okay?
All right.
We got 2017 or 2018?
I'm going to go with 17.
All right. We're going to be watching a movie called Bomb City.
Bomb City?
It came out 2017. It's about it's a crime drama about like some punk rockers in like conservative Texas.
Okay. Huh.
It's available on Amazon Prime, Canopy, Tubi TV, or you can rent or buy it from Vudu. Tubi TV and Canopy are both free streaming services. Tubi TV also unfortunately has ads, but it's free, so whatever.
Yeah. Huh.
Alright. Well, most likely, so this was a short episode just because, I'm in Mexico and it's kind of a weird setup. Most likely next week will probably be about the same hour, 20, hour 30. And then after that, I should be back in Washington. We'll be hitting on the 17-hour mark. And then remember that next week's picks, we're starting to do Christmas episodes. We're doing 2. So pick a Christmas movie or a holiday movie next week, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching Screen Weens, listening.
Yep.
Don't forget, who do you tell, Thomas?
Your grandmothers.
Yep, tell your grandmother.
Tell all the boomers.
I told my grandmother yesterday.
Oh, nice.
and then they all asked, what's a podcast? And I was like, uh-oh. And then I said, it's like a radio show. And then I walked away. All right. See you later, everybody.
Adios.